December 2022, I was in a hospital bed about to undergo ACL reconstruction surgery. God has really changed my life, and I wanted to come on here and share with you guys kind of my testimony and talk to you guys about how God has transformed me in the space of a year. This time, a year ago, I could barely even walk. I ruptured my ACL playing netball, and I literally just jumped up and fell really badly, and turns out that I completely tore the ligament in my right knee. When I went to the physio, they told me that I would need surgery and that it was going to take me at least 9 to 12 months to be able to fully return back to high level sport. And they basically told me that, it would take about a year for me to play netball properly. I was devastated. And before I ruptured my ACL, I did not have a relationship with Christ. I did not profess to be a Christian. I had not given my life to Jesus, and I was kind of just in the world. I wasn't doing crazy things. However, I was not going down that narrow path. So when I did rupture my ACL and I got injured, I was angry at God. I had barely seeked out God whilst before my injury. However, for some reason, when I did get injured, I was really, really, really mad at God. I was angry at God, chastising God, asking him, why me? Why am I the one who has to suffer with this injury? Now, for those of you who don't know, maybe you've never had an ACL injury before, it's not funny. Okay, after my surgery, I could not walk for a few days. Like, I was bedridden. Like, my mom had to bring me food. If I wanted something, I had to call someone to get it for me. I was on crutches. It was just a very, very depressing time for me. I was mid A-levels, and I was just going through a lot, and I felt like God was punishing me for some reason. I was really, really upset and mad and angry at God for taking me out of the game. However, during that time where I was at my lowest, I also realized that I needed something to get me through, something to help me and to guide me through my injury. And so I did a prayer. I prayed to God and I said, if it's true that there's a God, if it's true that Jesus exists and that, the Bible is real, then I'll heal very quickly. I prayed, I did a prayer, and I said one night, I sat there and I said, God, if you're real, you'll heal me. You'll enable me to walk and get off these crutches, and you'll enable me to play netball and return by July. Like, I really, really wanted to play in this netball tournament that was happening in July, but whenever I would speak to my physio, he would always say, like, it's not going to happen. Don't kind of aim for that. ACL injuries take a long time to recover. Just, 2023 is not going to be your year, okay? It's not going to happen for you, right? So everyone else was telling me, nah, it's not going to happen. Just give it up. But I did a prayer and I said, God, if you're real, if it is true that you exist, you're going to heal me. You'll heal me and you'll help me walk again. That was the first thing I said. I said, you'll help me walk again, because like I said, after my ACL reconstruction surgery, I couldn't walk. I was on crutches, couldn't walk straight. So I prayed this prayer and I said, I will give my life to Christ. I will believe in you. I will follow you if you heal me of this injury. I swear to you I will, right? Guys, after I did this prayer, after a couple of days, I didn't need, let's say a week, I didn't need crutches. A week after my ACL reconstruction surgery, I didn't need crutches. After that week, the pain that I was feeling, guys, the pain is serious. Like, the pain was serious. I no longer was in pain, okay? I was walking after a week. And people were saying to me, wow, you got your ACL construction last week. How are you walking already? Power of God. Guys, when I tell you I didn't really want to believe at first. I was like, okay, maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe, it's just the universe. Because before, guys, I used to be into like new age. I used to be into like manifestation and spirituality, and you can create your reality with like your brain and stuff like that. And that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But I just thought, you know what, it can't be God that healed me and enabled me to walk. It's cool that happened, but I was still like, why would God put me through this, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm walking after a week. People are telling me, oh, Princess, you're doing quite well. Like, people are a bit shocked, and I still haven't really given my life to Christ, right? Whilst I also going through this injury, I start a YouTube channel. And I didn't really know what the point of this channel was. I wasn't really trying to become super successful and be like a YouTuber. I genuinely was bored. I had nothing to do. I was, dealing with this horrible injury. I was like low-key depressed. It was hard. I couldn't run. I couldn't really exercise. So I thought, why don't I put my time to something? Why don't I make a YouTube channel? I made a YouTube channel. I posted my first video in November. And I just kind of kept posting videos on YouTube here and there quite consistently because, like I said, I legitimately had nothing to do, right? And I didn't really see much growth in the first month. But by December, so a little bit after my surgery for my knee, I hit 1,000 subscribers. And for those of you who don't know, you have to, in order to be monetized and in order to start earning money from YouTube, you have to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And I was able to reach that goal in a month, which was really crazy to me. I really wasn't expecting it, and it's just not something that I was thinking about. So, time goes by. I'm dealing with this injury. I'm healing quite quickly. Physios are telling me that they've never really seen anything like it before. The way in which I'm moving after 3 months, I was starting to run again, and I was just doing stuff that I really shouldn't have been doing at the time frames that I was working with, because with an ACL injury there's lots of like time frames in which you're supposed to be doing certain things, and by 4 months, guys, I had full mobility. I was able to kind of change direction. I was able to sprint, and I was not feeling any pain. Like the pain had completely left me. Now this time I don't think I'd really given my life to Christ. I'd been praying because I was like, oh, okay, let me just, say a quick prayer and, ask God to show me signs. And God would reveal himself to me in so many different ways. I kept saying, okay, if I'm gonna do this properly, if I'm gonna give my life to Christ, like there has to be a reason for this to happen. I need to see a miracle. Guys, by July, I was back, okay? Everyone was saying, oh, okay, she's not fully back. Obviously, I didn't have like full fitness and stuff like that. However, I could play netball by July. And that was my initial goal, to play netball by July, even though all my doctors told me it's not going to happen, okay? And I said to God, like, if I see this miracle, this happens to me, I'm going to give my life to Christ, right? July, I got to play in the tournament that I wanted to play in, right? And I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy, right? It did not take me long to get back to full strength. Even people were saying, oh, which knee did you even injure? That's how people couldn't even recognize that I was injured and that I had been going through an injury, right? And this whole time, I think God was really helping me and guiding me through this injury, because in these moments of loneliness and at the lowest point in my life, he enabled me to have hope, to have faith. I still had faith, even though this faith was kind of coming from nowhere. Like, I hadn't really been praying, like I said before. I didn't really say I was a Christian. I'd never really read the Bible, right? However, I said to myself, I made a promise to myself, I made a promise to God as well, that if you give me a miracle and I see something like this, then I'm going to give my life to Christ. And I did, guys. I did, because Jesus had just revealed himself to me in so many different ways. There were so many things that happened that was not just mere coincidence. You know, the way in which I healed, the speediness of the way that I healed. Guys, a month ago was a year since I'd had my ACL reconstruction. 12 months is what a year ago is when I should have really been thinking about starting to really return to high level sport. That's what the doctors told me. However, in July, I was up and running. Okay, before July, I was up and running, guys. And when I think about my journey, and when I think about the weird, freakish way in which I healed, I think it is God. It has to be God. It was God, you know, healing me and guiding me, because my mom, she's very prayerful, and she was praying for me, and she was, you know, really, really praying for me to heal quickly and to just be happy again. And honestly, guys, when I tell you, when I found Christ, I found peace, you know. Everything that I was searching for, all the things that I thought would make me happy was not fulfilling for me. The only thing that fulfilled me was my relationship with God. And I, at the time, before I gave my life to Christ, I like to think of myself as very logical. I was always the type of person to be like, well, I'm not really gonna give my life if there's nothing really to show for it. Like, I need to see evidence. I need to see a miracle. And I saw a miracle. The way I healed, guys, was a miracle. And every single person has said that to me. My physio said to me, it's a miracle how you've healed. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to explain it other than, wow. You know, the way in which I was healing was, it shouldn't have happened like that. I knew other people as well who had ruptured their ACL and they had not healed nearly as fast as me. And I'm not saying that to say in which it was a competition or anything like that, but I'm just really coming on here to kind of share my testimony and share with you guys that God is really capable of doing anything. Even when you don't believe it to be true, even though you think, nah, it's not going to happen, God will pick you up and take you out of your darkest place, out of your lowest, and he will uplift you. You know, 2023 was meant to be a bad year for me. It started off as a bad year. January was maybe one of the worst months of my life in terms of me mentally. However, I ended January being fully recovered, being able to fully play netball and to play at the academy that I played for the year prior, have a YouTube channel, and I was able to, you know, finish the year with 15k subscribers. 15k subscribers, guys. January 2023, I had 0, right? And I'm really not even saying this to brag or show off, but I'm really saying it to glorify God. You know, I feel like he's given me this platform in order to be able to talk about him and really share how great God is, guys. And I'm gonna put pictures to kind of show you guys my injury and what it looked like, and just to kind of give you guys that proof and that evidence. But yeah, I just feel like this is something that I've really been feeling convicted to come on here and share my story. And I haven't, you know, really planned this video, so if it's a bit hard to understand and like a bit all over the place, I really do apologize for that, because I'm really just speaking from my heart and I'm using the Holy Spirit to guide me. But I really just wanted to come on here and share this story with you guys. Maybe it might impact one of you, who knows? I mean, even if one person comes back and says, hey, this video really inspired me and is very uplifting, then I guess my kind of job here is done. But I really want to use my platform for good and bring more people to the kingdom of God, and really just share how great God is. If you trust and put your faith in him, he's capable of doing anything. You know, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. And the more, ever since I've given my life to Christ, honestly, I'm not going to say I haven't been through battles and trials and tribulations. I have, but knowing that you can lean on God and rely on God and give all your worries to him has really gotten me through this year and helped me in so many ways. Guys, this YouTube channel as well that I started, the only reason I even started YouTube was because of this ACL injury. And I genuinely believe that that injury happened for a reason. I genuinely believed, you know, God had to pull me away from something that I was idolizing. I was idolizing netball. It became my life. It became my whole existence. My entire identity revolved around the sport that I was playing. And God had to kind of remove me from that to kind of see the bigger picture and give me perspective, give me time alone with myself. You know, I was playing netball at that time about 5 times a week, right? And that was all I thought about. That was all I would do. And to kind of have that taken away from me at first was devastating. I thought, what even is the point? But God really, really showed me that, you know, it's not my life, and there are greater things in life, which is, you know, having a close relationship with God. And it's only when you're with God, he is the one that will be able to guide you. You know, like with God, your deepest desires, everything you want, it will be given to you, you know. And yeah, I needed that ACL injury, because if I didn't have that injury, I would not have really had to sit and think. I would not have gone down a path of trying to find the truth, gone down the path of asking questions. I asked so many questions, guys. I did so much research into the world, how the world works, the government, who's at the top, you know, who's ruling, and everything led back to Jesus. Every single place I would search, I would find Jesus. And I wasn't even looking for God. I really was not looking for God, but I found him in places where I shouldn't have. You know, every sign was telling me Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. Every single sign was telling me that. And when I finally gave my life to Christ, honestly, guys, I felt peace. I felt so much peace. And all of a sudden, the ACL injury, what ACL injury? Guys, let me know what you guys think of my story down in the comments below. Have any of you guys had a similar injury or been through similar things? I would love to know your perspective and your thoughts. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you want to subscribe, like the video if you want to like the video. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing more videos like this. If not, don't care, I'll make them anyway if I want to. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.